The NGX all-share index closed on a positive note amid sell-off and buy interest as the benchmark all-share index appreciated by 28 basis points to close at 47,287.09 points to reflect a growth of 0.28% from the previous trading day and a year-to-date return of 10.70%. Meanwhile, the market capitalization increased by 71.54 billion. That's how much the investors pocketed at the close of the market Wednesday. Well, the stock exchange market value currently stands at 25.49 trillion naira at the end of the trading day. The market breadth closed positive as Presco led other 30 gainers and 12 losers, topped by Ella Lakes at the end of Wednesday's trading section. Well, the stock market since the year began has advanced by 4,540.65 basis points since the start of the year. So what's driving the market, especially as we turn our attention to looking at the market, the performance of the market yesterday? So the question is, what are the market drivers? Good time to bring in our guest, a regular analyst on the show, Mr. Ambrose Omodian, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ambrose Omodian. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Equities market rebounds yesterday amid sell-off and buy interest, which is 0.28%, as investors pocketed about 71.5 billion naira to erase previous day loss. So what are the current market drivers and factors driving investor sentiment? Let's start from there.
Yeah, actually, in equity investments or in anything that moves ups and down, you can't see a trend going continually either up or down. Markets have been in that trend for like about 5 days, becoming attractive for designer investors and also bargain hunters. In the process, they started jumping back to the market yesterday, especially as the earnings season is at a peak, and numbers that emanated from the companies are very, very positive. On that note, people are also looking the way of stock. And don't forget that the factor driving the volatility and the fear in the market now is the ongoing crisis in East Europe. And yesterday, the two presidents as a shift ground, like they want to compromise so that for peace to reign and for them to allow for settlement or for discussion. That alone, you can see that when that emanated and it hit the news wave, you see that the crude oil price that has been rallying also had a pullback. Other commodities in the market had a pullback. That also gives a trigger to equity positioning in matured market. Here in Nigeria, why the situation in a Presco and Nestle, because of the attraction of information investors are having or hearing, they see that there was a demand for these stocks. And not only that, it spread to nearly all the blue chip stock companies yesterday. The numbers of gainers yesterday, I said that it was a wide one. The market was positive, having 30 gainers against 12 losers. Tell that the breadth was really strong. That shows that investors are waiting for a trigger, knowing that all those companies that with the result are paying a good dividend, a good high dividend payout. And look at companies like stock like what we call Luca or United Security. It's a stock that was adjusted for 1 naira, 50 kobo, dividend they paid. That same yesterday, the stock rebounded. It tells you that investor sentiment for these stocks, is high, knowing that this company have kind of paid themselves from terms of performance, knowing that going into the new year, by April we'll be seeing their first quarter results. That alone have given investors kind of a succor or confidence to go back into the stock. It's among the top leaders yesterday, also rebounded after Magna. It shows a sign that the confidence investors have in this kind of company. That means every well-run company in Nigeria stock market and will deserve such a intention. For me, it's a good one for the market. But let's see how the market will sustain that tempo, because I believe that 5 days down, have great opportunity for people to buy low. I will say that buy in a low market and also it's a good moment for the market for me. Yeah.
Okay, let's look at just let's talk about more on these top gainers and the 5 losers. Yesterday you saw the Presco back on the top 5 gainers for Wednesdays at the end of yesterday's activity. Wait about a 10% gain to close the market at around 10 naira 45 kobo. Talking about Presco. So what does this stock have going for it in terms of the weaknesses and the fundamental analysis of the stock particularly?
No, actually, when it comes to equity trading, there are two things that investors trade: they trade news and rumors. And when these news and rumors and the market, it shape the prices of stocks. Yesterday, Presco announced that they just announced to kind of notify the exchange of their board meeting coming up on the 23rd of March. In the notification sent to the exchange, in terms of news, said that okay, this company is trading low. They said out of their authorized share capital, that the one they are on issue now will be given as bonus to shareholders of the company in the statement they sent. And also, they will declare dividend, on the 23rd of March. That information, as it filtered to the market, investors have to analyze it. Bonus from Presco, this is a company that have done well in terms of performance. As at their unaudited account for 2021, the company posted an earning per share of 18 naira, 85 kobo. That is the highest they have done since the company become a listed company on the exchange. For that, it shows you that where the company is going. And hearing the rumor
so fundamentally, for the stock, fundamentally, it's a good buy at the moment.
Very sound stock fundamentally, and technically a very good stock to buy. With the news of bonus comment again, that know how to shape attract investors to that position. For me, that rally has not stopped. It may likely also continue today, because out of that information, we're able to get that the company has to speak now, has authorized share about 1.1 billion 100 million shares. And out of that 1 billion 100 million shares, they've already issued what we call a standing share of 1 billion. That means they have about 100 million shares unallotted. If they say they're going to give bonus from that unallotted, automatically it means that they want to really wind up everything they have there. That is about 1 for 10 bonus coming from Presco. It's attractive enough for attract any investor to take position, and knowing that they're also in a defensive sector, that Nigeria will continue to drive that sector because we want to feed ourselves, and government and central bank are not sleeping, give the incentive so that they're able to create more employment at the same time, generate employment for Nigeria. On that note, I see that the sector, Okomu, Presco, Livestock, that are in that sector, and others that are in that sector are likely to benefit more from the government in terms of what incentive, in terms of low interest rate, which is good for me. On that note, investors that are in that stock are about to take position. Yeah.
Right. Just quickly before we move on, we're going to talk about, despite the market last year, the market this year, it's something else. The level at which it's trending and is growing, I mean, the movement of the index, it's something that a lot of investors are impressed with. We'll look at that in a moment, but just before we get to that, let's continue with the flip side now. We will talk about the Presco taking the top of the 5 gainers. Farmadeco, Link Assurance, Royal Legs, RT Briscoe were among the top 5 gainers for yesterday. And if you flip to the other side, the stock of Lakes are there. May and Baker, Name It, Nigerian Insurance and Cuties are in the red there. Could you tell us more about this depreciation with some of these stocks that we're seeing? Just quickly, I need you to make that quick, please.
No, actually, looking at the top losers for that yesterday, Ella Lake, for me, is an opportunity for a design investor to see this stock find a support level. Ella Lake is also in agricultural sector where Ukomu, where Livestock and Presco are listed. And Ella Lake is also going into sugar production. For me, the pullback is an opportunity for stock to become more cheaper, but investors have to wait to see this stock find a support level before they jump in. And for them going to sugar processing, which is also a good business, we'll also give them time. As we speak now, there's no fundamental to say that is going to support the price, but as it's coming down, for me, it's a good one that it can form a good support level for investors. But technically, you need to still wait because it's not looking good on technical.
Mr. Ambrose, I discovered that your image changed a little bit. Perhaps you have a power outage, and I guess, right? Like you have a power outage there. But then, again, we're talking about companies listing on the Nigerian exchange. It seems we do not have, from the power sector, do we have any company at the moment who is listed? Because we know that capital market, of course, is a place to raise money, to expand and fund operation.
Actually, the company that is listed is a Transcorp Transcorp is a good one because they are into Janko, they generate light and give to and feed the federal grid, which is good. But that is why that company for me, at the price is selling is more attractive for people that are designing that are long-term investor. Because when a company is into utility, thing that we need every day, I believe that company should also rake in money. It's just because Transport speak now, as they generate to the national grid, they are not being paid as expected, but they are generating money. That's why I said
so it's a big challenge. Well, we may not be able to exhaust that. I mean, we'll talk more about that some other time, but I just thought I should bring that. I just noticed that you have a power outage there. But quickly, before I let you go, talking about foreign portfolio, there's a bit of a decline in the foreign portfolio in 2021, given the analysis the central bank gave. I think it dropped from about look at the market, talking about the foreign portfolio dropping from $5.16 billion in 2020 to $3.39 billion. But yet we're seeing a rebound, an upward trend in the Nigerian market this year. So what do you think it's informing this upward trend in the market? Just before we wrap it up, and of course, quickly give us your take for the market today as we wrap up.
Actually, when it comes to portfolio investment, there are two types. Whether you are a direct investor, call them direct investment, or portfolio investor. Portfolio investor in our own market, for me, in the last 2 years, they have dropped significantly, and that is good for us. For us, we can plan with our market, and also it shows that the institutional investor locally here are taking also position in the market. That's why we're seeing the market in this kind of trend, despite the low participant of to do more, to attract more local players in the market, so that we're able to plan with our market for 5 years without up and down. Because when the foreign investor people come to your market and they are controlling 50% or 80% of your market, when they are going, your market will be bleeding. We can see for the last 2 years now, 2020, 2021, we have seen a stable market in Nigeria because we have our local student investor and high network investor locally and more attracting more local retail investors.
So it's good news for us here, right?
It's good for yes, but in terms of direct investment, where we can create jobs, we need them to come and go for portfolio investment in our
interesting.
If a foreign investor is in the market and any small news about our market, you want to sell down, that will bring the market down. For me, I think we can encourage more Nigerians to play in our local market. Why you encourage them to do more direct investment?
Okay. Now quickly give us today's because of our time, maybe if you can do that in 30 seconds, like I always say. Give us your take for today. Is the fourth trading day of the week. So what are we likely to see at the end of section today?
Well, I've seen a rebound yesterday, and that rebound is likely to be sustained this morning because we expect more companies to release their earnings. If that is done, the uptrend we saw yesterday or the uptick will be maintained this morning. But don't forget that in a mixed market or a mixed sentiment, we expect up and down. But if the market has suffered losses for 5 days, we'll not see kind of an up and a reversal yesterday to be sustained for another 2 days before can come back again. But I believe that today should be an up market. Yeah.
Okay.